10 years of never-ending framing and assassination attempts in kangaroo courts, representing myself all alone. They may have the power, temporarily at least, but I have the authority, the ammunition, and the leverage. And many witnesses too afraid to come forward, except for this one, who saved my life. The latest series of court cases, all charges dismissed. Yeah, let's just go read it.
I couldn't even read this letter that I was meant to read.
Yeah, the one. Yeah, so you wanted to read it out. Here.
I might as well read it.
Yeah, just maybe just put your glasses in your hand, like I said before. How to put it in your hand like that. Yeah, you should be able to read it.
Okay. I'm a friend of Jeremy. I've known him for several years. I think Jeremy is innocent. The accusations don't make any sense. I saw the video and I didn't see any assault by Jeremy. He appears to be getting set up and framed for things he never did or said. Jeremy was in fear for his life and trying to defend himself. He wasn't causing trouble. He wanted to be left alone. He didn't walk to talk or be around the other man.
I think that was want to talk.
I think this
was it a typo or something, was it?
Or maybe a spelling mistake.
Did it say want? I thought it was want to talk. That sounds more sense.
He wanted to be left alone.
Yeah.
He didn't want to walk or talk or be around the other man.
Oh, okay, walk. Oh, you mean walk? You're talking about when he wanted me to walk with him and shit. I get what you mean, yeah.
Yeah, Jeremy repeatedly told him to leave his home, and he wouldn't. I believe he was trespassing. He was provoking, intimidating, making threats, and bullying. It appears he was trying to bait Jeremy into acting a certain way that he could use against him to discredit him and put him in even more danger. I've seen the recording of the supposed smoke alarm check several times, and 2 examples of police coming to his house after the incident. I don't see any rules or legislation being followed at all by the person who visited Jeremy's home and the police. The alleged contractor wouldn't identify himself. He took a picture on Jeremy's front door on his tablet and said he was going to take him to court for documenting evidence of him. He made it very difficult for Jeremy and kept provoking him and wouldn't leave his home. Jeremy was in justified fear for his life and thought he might die because the alleged contractor and others had broken into his home before, broken his locks, and said all kinds of threats, gaslighting, lies, saying they'll set him up, they'll put him in an asylum, and that no one knows he exists. I should mention how they cut his power to turn off electronic recordings after they entered his home and felt safe to confess to their ill intent to harm Jeremy and laughing about it, as well as stalking him online on his social medias and websites. One example out of many, I believe they said, this is what the alleged contractor Bodyman said, and he did say this, and then he said he didn't. He said, where's the part? It's hard to read this. I have a bat if he'd like to, I have a bat if he'd like to talk to us. Jeremy's situation is very horrifying, and this has been happening to him for over 10 years. I should say it's very traumatizing to see what Jeremy has to go through. I should mention as well his bodily health issues and permanent injuries that he's received from being a whistleblower and documenting evidence. I want to mention as well that he's in constant legal battles due to being the original founder of Anonymous and a whistleblower who's a political refugee trying to get political asylum. I've witnessed everything from the Royal Commission phone call to this current court case, and there are other witnesses from around the world online who have known Jeremy even longer than me. I've seen multiple documentaries of Jeremy's political situation. He has a long history of documenting government corruption and being targeted for it. And it's always ongoing, and it just never gets resolved. It just always gets put on hold. He doesn't get a moment's rest. Me and others have been helping him with his situation, because watchdogs like the Royal Commission and NACC don't help him. They play dumb. They won't take his evidence. They say, try to find someone else, and end with saying best wishes. The government tries to weaponize psychiatry against him whenever he reports or documents government corruption. I've spoken to locals in his area who I've spoken to locals in his area who
Hold your glasses.
know about Jeremy's situation, and they're very upset and worried for his and their own safety. A lot of locals notice our anonymous clothing and approach us and mention their problems with government corruption. They don't know what to do, and they ask us for help and advice. This is a don't know what to do situation for them, and they come up to us and ask us for help and advice on what they can do. This is a daily thing everywhere we go, with very similar stories of them being targeted, just like Jeremy. The departments they complain about are mostly police, the medical system, the mental health system, the housing department, and the courts. I witnessed many attempts to contact politicians, and they come after Jeremy with psychiatry and assassins and raid his home trying to kidnap and drug him. I know Jeremy very well. I talk to him almost every day. I want to say he's not crazy, a liar, a fraud, and he's not a criminal. He's the founder of Anonymous. He's not a hacker. He stops crimes. He helps people full time, every day. He mentors people. He does a lot of teachings. He's trying to make the world a better place. Jeremy inspires people to want to be better. Jeremy inspires people to want to be a better person, make a difference in the world, and stop evil. Jeremy has a lot of debates and discussions, and a lot of people, practically everyone, ends up agreeing with his solutions. He has a lot of skills and experience in a wide range of areas. People trust him. People like being around him. He's not the person they're accusing him of being. And then that was it. To have my signature, and
Yeah.
they wouldn't let me read this out.
Yeah. It was adjourned for Monday, and then David won versus Goliath's whole family again. Here are a few words between Mr. Purple and Mr. Orange about what happened. So, Mr. Orange, recording. What do you have to say about the Friday and the Monday, especially Monday? Yeah, just to talk about Monday, the finalisation of the court, where I got all charges dismissed after multiple appeals, 2 years of the latest round, right? Yeah. Latest round of this bullshit, 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, run through Monday. Anything you want to say about Monday?
Well, we went to court, and yeah, the charges got dismissed, and yeah, you looked really good, and they looked really bad, and yeah, you did really well. They saw the letter, the 10-minute video. They looked very unprofessional, the prosecutors. You had to show them how to fix and use the court computers.
Yeah, I had to fix it. I had to fix the court computers. The whole court system computer shit went down. It was all broken, and it apparently had been getting worse and worse over a week. And I had to explain everything, what was going on. I had to basically fix their computers and everything, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
And I think that the judge, he let the founder of Anonymous access the court systems and shit. And I was like, "You sure you want the founder of Anonymous to?" He's like, "Yeah, that's okay." And then I think he's doing that to watch me and the fucking idiot prosecutor dude. He's fumbling around like a fucking imbecile.
Yeah.
And the judge really never liked that guy.
No, he didn't like him.
And as far as I'm concerned, they're all corrupt, and they would not allow me to make a case of self-defense, because that would involve bringing up evidence of systemic government corruption and shit, that they're all, they're all fucking dirty. So there's two options. They either just do kangaroo court under the table when I've actually got the ammo and the leverage, just to justify extreme measures, and just making a martyr of me is just like the worst possible thing they can do, or they can, or it can. So your letter was actually banned on Friday, and I said, did you just wait? Yeah, it's been kicked out. Your letter's been kicked out of court for reasons that can't be specified. Just watch Monday. Magically, yeah, as I called it, it's been added back in, but they won't. All the references to government corruption, anything, they're just one paragraph.
Yeah, they tendered it all except for the last paragraph.
No, only the last paragraph they tendered, the character testimony and all this kind of stuff, and like.
Yeah, they just allowed the last paragraph.
Yeah, but yeah, the police and the prosecutors, the government, they come up like complete imbeciles, right?
Yeah, they did. They looked so bad, so unprofessional, didn't know what they were doing, and yeah. Even when we were watching the 10-minute video of the incident with Baldy Man, it was like everyone was horrified. They're like, oh.
Yeah.
And even what they tried to say, they're like, oh, it's assault.
Yeah, and even the judge is like really, yeah, is this what like, you really? This is what you're trying for here? Like really, he's dumbfounded the whole time at like how petty this and weak their so-called argument is. They got nothing. What's something I want to say is oh yeah, one thing I was going to say something else. I can't remember what it was. So yeah, just saying what happened. What I said. Maybe we'll get when we get to the train station. I took my jacket off because it's so damn hot. It has been for ages. Right. I said, maybe we should just to remind you. Maybe we'll get a sign. Maybe some electrical sign, and a bit of change in the weather, right?
Yeah.
As soon as I took my jacket off and said that,
massive.
Cold, it just dropped like 15, 20 degrees or something. It just got suddenly cold. Gale force winds, tree branches breaking off the trees. It was sudden, instantaneous, dramatic change. That I said that. Right. We got on the train. As soon as we got off back at our stop, right up the road from where we are. What happened when we got off the train?
There was a blackout. All the lights, electronics, they were all gone. We couldn't even tap off.
That was as we got just moments, like seconds before we got off the train. It just happened, so everyone's in a panic. Yeah. There's sirens everywhere, helicopters. It looks like there was car accidents or something because everything went all haywire, right?
Yeah.
Everything went haywire, and also the backup generators were gone too, eh?
Yeah.
There's no backup power anywhere.
No power
yeah.
In the area.
And yeah, it wasn't just the electrical grid; it was the backup power and all the mobile networks that went down. The satellite connections we got two separate mobiles to two separate ISPs running completely independently of each other, and they were both down too. And then they were up and down. They couldn't get them back up, and then eventually it all went up around the same time. Something like just glitched out the whole electrical grid and everything, including satellite connections, right?
Yeah, it did.
Almost like a solar flare or some,
Yeah, we had no access to internet, mobile data.
Everything went down.
Everything went down.
Yeah, as we got back.
And then it eventually went back up a couple of minutes.
And then the rainbow, right?
Oh yeah, and then we went to get something to eat, and then we saw a rainbow.
A very oddly shaped one too.
Oddly shaped one, because it was raining.
And, yeah, maybe most people who may watch this video don't understand what we're talking about there with the signs in the rainbow, but it actually means something.
Yeah, it does.
So let's just quick about the court. So I think what do you think? The judge was. I think you said this all along. They're all afraid of me.
Yeah.
Everyone in the court, very afraid of me, especially the judges. Big, circle of judges all gone freaking out of me, pointing at me, as you said before, pointing at me, like, what do I do with this guy,
Yeah.
And but like on Friday, I gave evidence that I didn't get back, and they said it was all removed from the court, banned from the court. But they kept it, and they looked it over the weekend.
Yeah.
After looking at what I've got to show that I'm not bluffing here, I got more ammo than they can possibly imagine. The ammo that they did read was so bad.
Yeah, you had a lot of more evidence.
It was so bad that it was a complete change of story on Monday.
Yeah, it was. After they saw the 10-minute video.
And I think, a judge would not really typically like the founder of anonymous, especially when, I still believe that the entire court system and government in every corner is totally corrupt. That's why that even now they won't allow any reference to this government corruption in any way whatsoever. They freak out.
Mm.
But nonetheless, after what I think that the judge, after what he'd seen, he went from hating the founder of Anonymous to I think he was actually very, very surprised and impressed by what I was capable of and how professional I was, better than any lawyer. Like,
Yeah.
why is this guy representing himself? Like, this isn't that stupid? No, I did better than any lawyer could be. And
Yeah, you did
this
really
is
well.
me, David versus Goliath's whole family, and I was running circles around him,
Yeah, you did really well.
making a complete fool of him.
Yeah, the judge had to drop the charges because.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was.
But I think that it was very strongly shown
Yeah.
that the judge was very surprised and impressed by my competence and the quality of work that I put into. I had to basically fix their computers and make their own case and compile the evidence and do the video edits and everything for them.
Yeah.
Because they can't do it themselves, so I did their case for them just so they could have an argument to respond to, right?
Yeah, you did. You did
Yeah,
so
yeah.
much.
Would you agree that from you because you're there the whole time? Would you agree that the judge was surprised and impressed by me and horrified at the incompetence and stupidity consistently
Yes,
of the government and police and prosecutors and shit?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, especially Monday. Yeah.
I just noticed on the right of my door, my broken door's still there. I'll just show it right now. What's left on my door, like no door frame. There's door frame parts out in the park. The police did this. Never-ending home invasions and door smashings and crap, right?
Yeah, you need.
Yeah, still waiting. I mean, I've got temporary kind of means to lock things, but I still need door frame and proper lock put in and everything.
Yeah.
From the never-ending police invasion, they live in the bush and everything, chased by helicopters and planes and a drone.
Yeah.
Fucking ridiculous. And it turns out that I'm innocent, really.
Yeah.
How many appeals, how many adjournments, how many court cases, like 3 separate court systems, never-ending appeals and adjournments, and it turns out when the evidence is actually seen,
Innocent. Yeah.
and look, less than 1% of the evidence I have. I mean, the recording itself of that incident in particular speaks for itself. Nothing more needs to be added to any honest court, right?
Yeah.
But I have so much worse than that, right?
Yeah, you had so much evidence. You had the big backpack.
It was so heavy that my backpacks were like tearing. It's brand new backpack and it's tearing from the weight. Yeah.
You had USBs of evidence and you did really well and yeah.
So all the people who want to gaslight, accuse me of everything under the sun, and call me crazy, which is basically mentally incompetent. Well, okay, no lawyer, 10 years of never-ending barrage of David versus Goliath court cases. Always represented myself.
Yeah.
Here I still am.
Yeah.
All the injuries they've done to me too, which is barely still here. But yeah, all the people want to say that I'm a liar or false or crazy or incompetent or any kind of way.
It's not true.
Yeah, okay. You go represent yourselves in 10 years of court cases against in rigged court cases, kangaroo court cases, in every corner. Like it's typically like 3 separate court systems at a time. Like I've got multiple overlapping trials of the same shit all at the same time, and they cornered it all from every angle to lay on this one and this guy, their front man. They put everything into this one guy and this one court case, so they can put all the other court cases we're relying on this. Here I still am.
Yeah, I'm glad you are.
All the fuckers who want to challenge my honesty or competence. I'm not infallible. I could be wrong about a lot of things, but people who want to accuse me. All right, go provide evidence. Face me, life. Surprise me with the evidence, just like they tried it on Friday and stuff. Right?
Yeah.
They tried to surprise me. That's all. Like it was a bluff. They gave me multiple duplicates of my own documents.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Anyways, there's a lot we can say, but I just want you to be able to confirm what you saw firsthand.
So much, and it went so well. I'm so surprised. I thought it was going to go bad, especially with what happened.
Well, they had the power, but I had the leverage and the ammo.
Yeah, you did. They had to drop the charges. They couldn't do anything else.
Well, they martyred me in this kind of situation with the evidence I got, dude. Yeah. There's never been a case against me all this time.
Yeah.
And this it was so pathetic. Even the judge was surprised at how pathetic and weak.
Yeah.
That this is, that they're trying so hard for something so ridiculously stupid.
Yeah.
That's not even true. Obviously not true.
Yeah.
Even the judge was like, he was dumbfounded. He could I don't know what to say about this. It's just ridiculous. But what was it? One thing. There's one thing I want to say about that. I just had it. I was gonna say what it is. Fuck. I might be able to, I'll do it later. I'll just think what it is. Hang on. I'll stop video. All right. I remember what it was. So, with your character reference, the judge was very impressed by that. By the way, as you said, right?
Yeah, he was.
And he's already inclined to believe me.
Yeah.
When it's like when in an instance where it's my word against the other party, and he's inclined to believe me over the police, the government, and Baldyman himself.
Yeah.
Just a face value from the how we behave and what kind of honesty and credibility we seem to have just by interacting with us and without even looking at the evidence.
Yeah.
But after looking at your testimony, he also says, I'm also inclined to believe I'm very inclined and impressed by this guy's testimony.
Yeah.
Very inclined to believe this.
Yeah.
And he said he baited the police just to right, the police prosecutors to say, like, what do you think? Like, he wanted to read this out to the prosecutor just to get his reaction, right? Because he's so like, this is ridiculous. I want to see how they respond to this, right?
Yeah.
And he read out that character testimony, and he's what? Do you have anything to say about that? Right? Is this no? He had nothing to say about it. Like,
Yeah.
do you contest this at all?
Yeah.
Or do you agree with it? And he's basically agreed with your testimony that I'm basically a real life superhero with a flawless record, with the highest possible credibility points, basically.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they basically agreed. And then even the judge kept saying over and over after, like, I can't believe you're doing all this, but you don't contest and even seem to agree with this testimony. Like,
I know.
it's like, is it possible to be this humanly stupid? You know?
Yeah.
They agree that they're taking me to court and they're agreeing that I'm right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It just doesn't get any clearer than that.
Yeah, I know.
Made a huge fool of themselves.
Yeah, it did. Oh, they looked so bad.
And yeah, they're all like panicking, like excellent. Look, they come across as like they got 20 IQ points or something.
Yeah.
All right.
Really dumb.
There's so much Josh video to be done. All right, I'll stop the video.
Okay.
All right, we're going about to take you back soon.
Yep.
Yep. And we're going to get some chicken wings on the way back, right?
Yep. Yes, we are.
I'll go buy them down the pub. All right.
All right. See ya.
See ya.